My name is Victoria. I moved to Tahoe in March of this year. I am a boat captain. I've been working for the last 5 years down in the Caribbean, driving different sailboats, actually working for a study abroad program for college and high school students. And I would work 8 months out of the year on the boats and then come back to the States and work up on a mountain for 3 months, 4 months, and teach skiing and snowboarding to kids. But yeah, I've just moved back to the States full time, and I've done a little bit of captaining on the lake here at Tahoe. But yeah, now I'm kind of getting into the vacation rental Airbnb models and loving Tahoe life. I came to Tahoe in March. I knew that I wanted to move back to the States full time, living and working on a boat. It's amazing. It's a beautiful lifestyle. I really enjoyed it, and there was a lot of adventures, but, after a while you get tired of living out of a bunk bag or, not having too many places for your things and just living kind of with your backpack. But I was drawn to Tahoe just because of the adventure community and the adventure lifestyle. I looked for a place that my passions are, the mountains and being out on the ocean and water. And while Tahoe doesn't have the ocean, it does have this great, beautiful lake. So Tahoe is kind of the natural place to come to. And I've just met a lot of really cool people here that I really like. So it, had that natural draw. Well, Chris and I met a few years ago, but I was always traveling and he was off doing his own thing. We actually reconnected at my sister's wedding, had a really great time dancing at the wedding, and everything was awesome. And then, the next day I had to fly out to Thailand. So I was kind of, not really in the mindset of, meeting a significant other or anything. I was very much into what I was doing, and I had kind of said, 5 years ago, this is a time where I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to, do all the adventures for me and just kind of go for it. And then, eventually it'll just work out, And so I went to Thailand. I was, traveling for another 2 years. And then when I came back, my sister was recommending, go check out Tahoe. Remember, it has, the lake and the mountains. And she was like, yeah, and, Chris lives down in South Lake. I'm sure he'll give you a tour around. And I was like, oh, yeah, I should totally go down there. And so I showed up and, we hit it off again right away. And then in March, I moved in, and it's been really fun ever since. All the people that we've met together and a lot of Chris's friends and, fellow adventure enthusiasts. The people here in Tahoe are so special in the fact that, you go to the bar, you go to the restaurant, and, and you start talking to the locals, and everybody I feel like is, kind of a casual badass in the sense of, oh, I just climbed up to Lac this morning. Oh, you want to go tomorrow? And it's so approachable. It's so easy to get involved, whether they've just done Rose to Toads or, a 60-mile bike ride or, are going to paddleboard across the lake, at the weekend. And there's always a way to get involved into the local activities. So it was a natural draw. I was like, this is it. I found my place, my people. I moved in March. My initial reaction is, what is this place? I've never seen a house like this, with a Hansel and Gretel theme. And it was really cool because, we had just redone all the flooring and, kind of gave it this blank canvas with painting all the walls, white or an off-white. And, it was kind of this, nice, cool, interesting start of, what you could make happen in this house and decorate. And, it was super fun. It just kind of happened, one thing at a time, finding fun little things to put in the different areas. And, what I really love about this house is how it's, kind of indestructible. But it's also a very, livable, comfortable home. It's not, cold or anything. It's very warm and inviting. It invites, the big groups and parties and, fun entertainment things, which is, a big thing that I grew up doing, is always entertaining and, with my parents and family. We love to have, family dinners and, get together. So it's, really inviting in that aspect to have people, come over and just enjoy the house. It never feels like it's, empty or too big or anything like that because there's always something going on. And that's what I really love about it. So when we came to the house and just saw all the, pink carpeting and the ridiculous colored walls and everything, it was kind of like, at first a little bit overwhelming and, oh God, there's, but we just kind of one thing at a time and it just kept rolling. And it was a little bit like a reality episode, where it's just everything's happening at once. Chris knew a paint guy, I knew somebody who was really good at picking out wall color, and so it just kind of happened, and one thing led to another, and just tried to get it in, as much as possible all in the same time, so we just do everything at once. And then, I've always kind of come from the background of, having things really clean and modern, and, then you can always add other things to it. So, my mom is from Sweden, so we always had that kind of Scandinavian background into things. And, with this, it's kind of like the mountain house, so the mountain meets Scandinavian meets modern classic style type thing. So, yeah, so we came to the house and we saw what needed to happen, getting the carpeting out of here, repainting all the walls, and within a matter of 3 months, we got all the major projects done, and we were ready to move in and kind of make it our own. Yeah, so my favorite room in the house is the kitchen. I love how expansive it is. There's plenty of room. Like I said, I really love to entertain and have, guests over and family members. And the place you always find everyone congregating is always in the kitchen. So it's really fun to have the space, and the space to also, cook a meal while you're entertaining and kind of doing the whole multitasking, running around, which is actually really funny because when we moved in, Chris, for the last couple months, who knows, maybe even years, has been only cooking with the microwave. He was even microwaving his eggs in the microwave, which was ridiculous. And I was like, we have this beautiful kitchen, we really need to step our game up here with our cooking methods. And, I'd been cooking on a boat for the last 5 years, which is a little bit like cooking on a roller coaster. So it's been fun to have, the space you need to, really learn, and, multiple sinks and the big, galley style stove top. So there's plenty of room for that. So we've really stepped up our game with the cooking projects. But I love the granite countertops, they're gorgeous. Each kind of room in the house you'll find has its little quirkiness, the natural little things that's already in it. And then, we tried to enhance that with adding a few little things. Like when you go into the living room, you have the snowshoes and the giant ice skates, which are ridiculously huge size, which is too funny. And then you go into the game room, and there's the pool table. You have some old skis in there, some funny photos that we've put up on the wall. And then you have the office, and you have, your kind of kitschy, mountain modern, set of horns that are in there. And then you have, some really interesting books you'll find that are on the bookshelves. A lot of them came with the house, so they're not fully ours, but we've added our own collections to it. Then you walk upstairs, and you have that kind of Hansel and Gretel looking brick fireplace in the master bedroom that I really like, and with the grout kind of squishing over the side of the bricks, and going into the bathroom there, huge beautiful window, you can kind of see out, but then also pull down the blinds for your privacy. But yeah, it's gorgeous. I really enjoy we both have our closet, so we have plenty of room with that. And then walking down the hall, you'll find interesting little crawl spaces or fun little areas of the house. But it's really nice because, upstairs provides plenty of room for our guests, but it's also a nice reprieve from all the loud action downstairs, and it's actually pretty good with the sound barriers and everything in the house. So that's pretty nice.
Tell me about your succulents too.
Well, since I've been on a boat, I haven't really, moving off the boat, it's been really fun to get into different hobbies and passions. I never knew it'd be so cool to just be able to go for a bike ride whenever you want, or, to try to grow some plants, which has been an interesting endeavor. I had multiple potted plants outside and had it really nice. And then, over the next couple days, they just, kept getting deadheaded, and the flowers kept getting eaten. And I was like, what is this? And it was, we have a family of rabbits that are, in the neighborhood, and they come over, so they don't like to, they don't like us to grow any type of flowers, really. And so what I've resulted to is growing succulents. And I've gotten actually really into it. So I've tried to put a succulent in each room and provide a little bit of, greenery throughout the house. But I really enjoy, growing succulents. They're easy. Water them every Monday, once a week. And that's about it. But yeah, it's been a fun passion to learn how to do. Yeah, so when we initially moved into to the house, the kitchen was more of the traditional farm style, had the red, and which brought out more of the different aspects of the tiling that was on the backdrop. But it was a little bit, in my mind, maybe a little bit overbearing. So we wanted to try to keep it a little bit more, clean slate, more natural, more light. Within the house. So we, painted it white, and then you have the granite countertops. We've added, it's all about the little touches that you can do with the Edison light bulbs, to really, give it that softer feeling in the house, making sure that you have the dimmers on each of the light switches. I'm a big lighting person, so I've always, enjoyed I've always appreciated when there's particularly good lighting in a room. And I think it can make the room really, and make it a lot more cozy. So. We've we've installed the dimmers on each of the light switches throughout the house. We've switched out some lampshades, that creates a cool effect in some of the rooms. Well, we found a lot of the inspiration from the particular little details with the brickwork. You'll notice a lot of the brickwork outside, and it carries into, inside with the grout that's spilling over the edge of the bricks. And a lot of the design of the house kind of came from those particular elements, and just, keeping with the style and the theme, but also keeping it classy and simple, warm, inviting, and definitely, approachable and comfortable for people, and that's going to last. Something that, we wanted stuff that's going to last, not, cheapy or anything like that. We wanted to take pride in, each of the particular areas in the house, and, keep it fun. Fun.
That was good. And keep it fun. That's good.
Yeah.
Chris used that term a lot too.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's the fun house.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Top 5 decorative elements of the house.
Okay. My top 5 decorative elements would definitely be the brickwork. A lot of the the stones around the fireplace I really like. Chris is so proud, like he mentioned, his rigging to rig up the TV. I do think that's pretty fun, kind of incorporates his background. And if you notice, while we go through the house, there's a lot of different nautical charts that kind of comes from my background, so, melding those together. But I really like all the, I don't know what I like.
Two dishwashers.
Oh, yeah.
I really like, something super different too is the paneling of the windows.
Yeah.
You don't see that type of paneling anymore.
Yeah.
So if you
another element I really like is the.
I'm gonna have you start.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Another element I really like is the paneling of the windows. I like how it invites a lot of light to come in, so it's not a dark house. It doesn't feel like that at all. It kind of brightens up the area. I really like the different light features that we have in the house. Those are really fun to pick out and to kind of bring some of the older shapes, but with the classic modern style. I love the stonework around the fireplace. Chris's, fun rigging of the TV, all the rock climbing gear, the nautical charts that I've collected over the years and framed up. And, I think one of my favorite parts is the office as well, with the bookcase and, the classic old school. I feel almost like we need maybe a whiskey bar for the next project to put in there. That would be fun. Yeah, when people walk up, it's never what they expect inside. They're always like, what is this place? Where did you find this house? Which is too funny, but they're always surprised. And then, as we walk through the house, it just keeps going, and it definitely wasn't what they thought from the outside. But at the same time, it does kind of keep with the fun, Hansel and Gretel meets Henry VIII theme. So it's pretty funny, but they always are surprised of how far that, it keeps going upstairs, and the different areas we've been able to kind of make, fun places to hang and to, an inviting atmosphere. So yeah, one of my favorite things about the kitchen, along with the 3 sinks, so there's always a place to wash your hands, is the 2 dishwashers. So when you're feeling super lazy and you don't want to, unload this one before you can reload it, or if you have a big dinner party and you have so many dishes, you have a space for all of them. So that makes it a lot easier to entertain.